Show Outdoor here signing in with a video talking about one of my other favorite things to talk about besides movies or Halloween Horror Nights, and that is Howl O Scream in Tampa. Now I don't think I've really talked about Howl O Scream at all this year, but not a lot's been going on. Their Facebook page is it's black right now. They just have a thing over the top for the profile picture, just says Busch Garden's Howl O Scream. So my guess is that they are currently deep within the workings of getting ready to start building houses soon and working on, I guess, fixing and kinking out everything they're going to do for their event this year. Now I want to talk about my predictions and what I think will happen to this year's event. Few things. And I do kind of have some research to back up what I'm saying. Howl O Scream every year brings back houses. That's a known fact. They don't have the funding nor the power or really the attendance every year, except I think on like Saturdays and maybe Sundays, versus Saturdays or certain days, as HHN is crowded. HHN's Thursday nights are like what Howl O Scream's Saturday nights are. It's night and day. There's a lot of difference as far as how much popular the events are. So they don't get as many houses or updated. But this year, I can guarantee you there are going to be a lot of houses coming back. I feel there will be a couple that'll be leaving, but I know for sure the ones I know for sure in my mind that will be coming back from, if you look in the past, of the most popular houses to return. Zombie Mortuary will be coming back, absolutely. I know there's been a lot of speculation, a lot of thought from a lot of people that are Howl O Scream fans saying that Zombie will not be coming back. Well, last year was Zombie's third year, and a lot of houses, I think the longest running was Trapped, ran 5 years. And Howl O Scream has been known that they've run a lot of their most popular houses 3 to 4 years typically, or 3 to 4 seasons. So I think for sure Zombie Mortuary is going to be coming back for its fourth and probably final season this year. Last year when I went, that was the most popular house of the night besides Deathwater Bayou. Had the longest wait time, and I think we waited in line like an hour on a Thursday night at like midnight for that. So that should show you how popular of an attraction that still is. And with The Walking Dead still being such a powerhouse on television, zombies being so engulfed to pop culture, that house will not be leaving anytime soon. So that house will be staying. The obvious other one is Deathwater Bayou, of course, will be coming back for its second year. It was the highest rated house last year by a lot of reviewers. I rated it pretty high as being in my top 3. It's a really great house and deserved all the attention that it did. It was up to quality with everything that Halloween Horror Nights did, and it was longer than most Horror Nights mazes were, so it definitely will be coming back. The other maze for sure that I know absolutely 100% will be coming back will be Circus of Superstition, the second highest rated house last year. It was in its second year. I love the house. It was my favorite house last year. There's no way that it won't come back. Like I said, Howl O Scream, all their good and big houses are always come back between 3 to 4 years typically. I see this Circus Superstitions are lasting just as long as Zombie Mortuary did. I think it will come back for another year or so after this, just like Deathwater Bayou will. I think Deathwater Bayou will be here for just as long as Zombie, if not longer. Now that leads me to the other houses. The other thing that I want to talk about that I know will be returning, but will be extremely probably revamped, will be the Experiment, the solo house or whatever. I know that'll be coming back at least one more time, revamped. They put too much money into it when they did that in the basement and Deathwater Bayou this past year, that they're not going to take it away. They'll just revamp it. So those 4 will definitely be returning for this year's event. So what about the others? Well, the others would be the other 4 houses, which is Blood Asylum, The Basement, Nevermore, and Ultimate Gamble. Now I can tell you probably 2 that I know. One will be staying and one will be leaving. One that I 100% will guarantee will be leaving is Ultimate Gamble. Ultimate Gamble will not return It went through its 3 years. Last year, it was one of the least popular houses last year. Even though I thoroughly enjoyed it, it does not mean that others did as well. I don't think it will be coming back. I think they're going to revamp it and put something else in there. One that will be coming back, unfortunately, will be Blood Asylum. Was not my least favorite house, but it will come back. It'll come for a third year. They'll just revamp it a little bit. They're not going to get rid of it. Now, that leads me to the last two, Nevermore and The Basement. I thoroughly like Nevermore. I would personally rather have that stay, but I feel like that it's done its 3 years as well. It wasn't super popular last year. It got high reviews and ratings, but that doesn't mean anything if the house isn't being actively stomped with people like Zombie, Mortuary, Circus of Superstition, or being older houses that were popular. So The Basement, so that's not going to be there. I don't think it will come back. But The Basement will most likely be returning, no matter how begrudgingly I don't want it to come back. It will probably be returning in some way, shape, or form. Whether they totally re-renovate it or not, or if it comes back in the same form, I think that it maybe will have, if it does come back, it will go one more time if they don't do some extreme renovations, because last year nobody liked it. I didn't know a single person that enjoyed the house, nor did I know any reviewers that gave it a high rating. Nobody. It was poorly reviewed. There was never a wait time for it. It was a crapshoot. So hopefully that they will get rid of the three, that they will get rid of Nevermore, Ultimate Gamble, and that they will get rid of The Basement. Personally, I'd rather lose Blood Asylum than Nevermore, but beggars can't be choosers. So that being said, with losing 3 houses, what will be coming back in return? Well, I'm looking at the event now that they are not going to try to pigeonhole. They see what's getting popular as far as their houses are concerned, and what's getting, I guess, what people are biting on and what people are not. And that would be very unique experiences that are very original to the event, and not just the tropes. The trope houses, to me, last year were, besides Circus Superstition is kind of a trope house, but they did it in a really cool way. But definitely The Basement and Blood Asylum are very horror trope houses, Cannibal Rednecks or Insane Asylum. In my opinion, hopefully, I would love to see them replace Nevermore with maybe an H.P. Lovecraft maze. Something else literary would be really cool to see them bring into the mix. And it doesn't have to be H.P. Lovecraft or anything like that, or Stephen King or something like that, but something out of the literary field would be really cool to see. That leads to the other kind of options. What are we looking at as far as, well, I look at popular culture as a way, because I know that's what they all look at when they're creating their mazes. I could definitely see them bringing in another kind of possession or ghost house. They haven't had one since Trapped got replaced with Zombie Mortuary, so I definitely could see them, especially in the location where they had the Nevermore house, putting in some kind of ghost house or something there. I could definitely see next year something maybe literary and then something dealing with possession or the paranormal. That's, to me, my predictions on next year. Now, as far as an event icon, to me, I think they should bring back the Voodoo Queen. I think she should come back as a solo icon and get the fair due that she was. She was pretty much the icon last year. To me, she was. But she was it was overshadowed with all these the 13. And I had my own complaints with that. But to me, the Voodoo Queen, I think, should come back as the full-on icon. They should bring her back. It's the best icon, in my opinion, that they've had in a long time. And that they could do a lot with her. And when they do the little bit of revamping that they'll do with Deathwater Bayou. So, that's my opinion. Oh, also, that roaming scare zones will return. That shouldn't even be a question, because the scare zones last year were awful. The roaming hordes will most likely be returning next year. So, that's my opinion on Howl O Scream this year. Those are my predictions. What do you guys think? Even if you're interested in the event or not, what do you think is going to happen? Will they remove 2 houses or 3 houses, and what will they be adding in their places? So that's all very cool and very interesting things to see what's going to be coming up in the future with the event. But in that case, this is HH Introgador signing out. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you guys real soon. Later.